Behavioural Learning Theory by John Cleary,
Christian Steinborn,
and Rowan Danaher. In this video, we are going to talk about behavioural learning theory and its importance in the classroom. We'll show you the positive and negative effects it has on students. We will introduce you to three important figures in behavioural learning theory: B.F. Skinner, Ivan Pavlov, and John B. Watson. We will tell you about their experiments and their concepts of conditioning using people and animals. We will also show you different scenes of both positive and negative behavioural learning theory in the classroom and their effects on students. What is behavioural learning theory? Behavioural learning theory is when a person's behaviour is influenced by the environment or an external stimuli. This is the period that occurs classroom to an environment, stimuli, and behaviour is shaped by positive and negative reinforcement.
Skinner's experiment was conducted with a rat using food as a reward. The rat was placed in a box. Over the course of a few days, food was occasionally delivered through an automatic dispenser. Before long, the rat approached the food tray as soon as the sound of the dispenser was heard, clearly anticipating the arrival of more food. Researchers raised a small lever on the wall of the box, and when the rat touched it, the food dispenser provided a snack. After the first self-induced meal, the rat repeatedly touched the lever in order to obtain more food. Skinner again experimented with rats to show how negative reinforcement can also strengthen behaviour. Skinner placed the rat inside the box and sent electric current into the box. As the rat moved around the box, it would knock the lever by accident and the electric current would stop. The rats soon learned that when they were placed in the box to go straight for the lever to turn off the electric current. Not only were the rats taught to stop the electric current, but they were also taught to avoid it completely. Skinner eventually taught them to press the lever when a light came on, which would stop the electric current before it started. Pavlov is often referred to as the father of classical conditioning. He accidentally discovered classical conditioning while feeding his dogs. He noticed that the dogs salivated before they even got their food. This was an unconditioned response from the dogs. He then decided to test this theory. He introduced a neutral stimulus of a bell. He rang the bell every time the dogs got fed. After a while of ringing the bell while the dogs got fed, Pavlov was able to ring the bell and the dogs would automatically salivate in anticipation of food. This bell became the new stimulus for food.
John B. Watson was a pioneering psychologist who played an important role in developing behaviorism. Watson believed that psychology should primarily be a scientific, observable behavior. He believed that human development could only be based on what one could see. Watson quoted, "Give me a dozen healthy infants, well-formed and my own specified world to bring them up in, and I'll guarantee to take anyone at random and train him to become any type of specialist I might select." Watson was most famous for his work on the little Albert experiment. Although his methods would be completely unethical today, he did in fact make great strides in behaviorism in the field of classical conditioning. The little Albert experiment. In the little Albert experiment, Watson conditioned little Albert to have a fear of white rats using a similar method to that of Pavlov. Every time Albert was presented with a white rat, Watson made loud noises and startled the child and made him cry. After a while, all Watson had to do was bring the white rat near Albert and the baby would scream and cry. In this experiment, the loud noises would be considered the unconditioned stimulus. Little Albert didn't need to learn to be afraid of the loud noises, as they would naturally make the child cry. Once little Albert began to associate the neutral white rat with the negative loud noise, the rat became the conditioned stimulus. That is, the previously neutral object now had a response. This makes little Albert's fear of the rat a conditioned response. Alright lads, so I have the results from the last exam there now. Rowan, great job there, you got an A there. Keep up the good work now, that's perfect now. Keep up that now. John, what's going on here, like? An F again. You can't be going on like this anymore, like. Come on, you gotta get your head in the game now. Look at Rowan here, he's getting A's every exam I give him. Try to learn anything from Rowan there now. Either get up the grades or get out of class now.
This is stupid. I'm never gonna pass. I'm not even coming here anymore.
Right. Rowan, where's John?
He said he's not coming back.
What now? Alright lads, I have the results from the last exam there. Rowan, great work. Yeah, keep that up now, it's good work now. John, it's a D. Now I can see potential in the work there, but I just think you need to put in a little bit more effort into the learning of it. Like if you want to stay back after class, I can give you a few tips on how to do it, okay?
Mr. Steinberg's right. I do need to try harder.
Alright lads, results from the exam there. Rowan, another A. Great job now, keep up the work. John, up to a C. I'm very happy with that now, you're doing great. So keep up that work now, I'm very happy with that.
I can see myself improving already. He makes the class so interesting.
How does this relate to children? One of the aspects important to human behaviour is the feeling associated with behaviour that is controlled by conditioning. In simpler terms, if a child is rewarded for doing something right and is looked upon constructively or negatively for doing something wrong, they are most likely to repeat whatever gave them a positive response. Children, like the rest of us, are free to behave in any manner that they choose, as long as they are willing to accept the consequences of their actions.